This is definitely my most ambitious project thus far, so welcome in to the first episode of the Bloomington Dev Diaries. Before we even get into the map, I'm gonna explain why I'm even making it in the first place. So essentially, back in early June of 2025, with the new
superhero
season at that time, Creative 1.0 kind of bricked. You can check the video that I have linked right now to see what's up, but it basically caused any and all 1.0 maps to freeze relentlessly due to it constantly rendering in and rendering out props, buildings, etc. And it was genuinely unbearable. So I decided to go on hiatus from making maps in 1.0 until about late November 2025, which is where Bloomington really started to kick off. And it wasn't just Rockwood. I was actually having Bloomington developed around the same time as this whole issue began, and, well, it was affected too, so I couldn't do anything until I decided to pick up UEFN towards the end of November, where I started this project for real. Now, I don't have much for what Bloomington looked like before going into the UEFN and building it up, but I do have a map of what it looked like around November 26th of this year, when about a few days after I started, and honestly, it was coming along already, but I can put up some footage of when Bloomington was first being built. I have a version of it saved before everything in UEFN began, so that's what I am putting up right now. Here it is, Bloomington, the Bloomington. The performance is absolute dog shit, but this is what the map looked like around when I started to work on it in UEFN. It's incredibly small, and ignore the lag, 1.0 is still suffering from it. That's why I nuked 3/4 of Rockwood so it was even remotely playable. You can see the bills are still in the sky. This is more or less of a time capsule. But here's power plant. The only island that really is unfinished is the main, downtown Manhattan-inspired island. I will explain more of my inspiration later on. But, you can see that the only, few blocks that are entirely furnished are this one here and this one here. Lag. But, holy shit. See, this is why I gave up with 1.0. The map is incredibly primitive. There's nothing on this island, just about, besides traffic lights and, 2 blocks and then part of the skyline. Slag is insane. But yeah, you can see why I kind of just gave up. The point I'm trying to make is, Rockwood, this is the only way it's functional. By having just the city accessible. I have a barrier set up, so you can't go anywhere south, any direction, really. You can't really leave the confines of Rockwood. And just to make it work, I had to remove Terrence, I had to remove Greendale, everything just about, besides Rockwood. And that's only to make it work. And I can't exactly port it over to UEFN at the moment, because UEFN crashes every time I try and import it, because it don't know how to do sprays. And it quite literally shits itself when it does sprays. So I'm gonna have to sort that out at some point. But yeah, Rockwood is completely fried. So here we are. And now back to Bloomington and what I'm actually doing with it. This city takes an incredible amount of inspiration from New York and its numerous video game renditions such as Liberty City and GTA 4, which is primarily what I'm basing it off of, because I am not driving over to New York. So you can tell where I'm getting a lot of inspiration from the skyline, to the beachfront, to the mid-density areas of the eastern islands, all the way out to the industrial sectors of the north. The first leg of this development process, I primarily did to build up the map and give a diverse, urban-centered environment for people to explore, screw around in, and something which I will address later. There are numerous custom billboards around the map, all poorly made in Microsoft Paint or drawn by one of my friends, because, you know, outsourcing is awesome. And the reason I haven't used AI for anything is because I'm too lazy to type in a prompt. And within some of those billboards, there are numerous references in which maybe 2 of my friends will understand. So I'm just gonna put a few of them up now, because, screw it. Spoil the surprise.
You know what that means?
Congratulations, now you have proof that my humor is completely fried. Blame my friends. I also have a few very basic features installed, like the gun stores work. There are a few cars around the map. I'm gonna increase them by the next dev diary, and much more. There's also an issue where if you go on a certain part of the road, it will treat it as if you're on an off-road surface, despite you quite literally being on the road. So that will also be fixed by then. But other than that, that's all I really have to say. I just wanted to address why I even started this map, why I'm even making it, and what I've got done so far. You can check the playlist of raw footage of me working on some projects. That's in the description. And there are a few other things, which I will also link down there. And yeah, that's just about all I gotta say for this video. So thanks for watching the first episode of the Dev Diaries. Let's try and get to 1,000 subs so I can actually drop this map and show you people what I've actually done with my time. Thank you again for watching.